YouTube star over here.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, hi guys. I think that we're live. Let me just check on my phone real quick. I have to confirm because I don't want to talk to myself. Let's see.
We have a commercial.
Yeah, I know my Martha McSally commercial. You guys can skip that. Okay, so here we are live. If you guys can let me know if anyone's watching, if you can let me know that you can hear us and you can see us, that would be great. Just someone comment in the box so I know that you guys can hear me since I'm using headphones this time. Let me know. I'll wait. Where's Martin?
We've got some interesting comments coming in.
I don't know. I keep getting from coronavirus. Cool. Who wants to see when no one replies? And I'm like, okay. So okay, guys, I get you. I see it, but I don't see I see your comments here. Now it's here. Cool. All right. My name is Mills. You guys probably know me if you're watching. And Emerly's been on the channel before. We did one other interview. Do you just want to let us know who you are, where you're from, and whatever else you want to tell us?
Hi, everyone. So, yes, I am actually not new to the channel. My name is Emerly. I am from New Jersey. I met Mills through her YouTube channel and then in a K1 WhatsApp group, which I joined because my fiance is in the Dominican Republic. And I'm also Dominican. And yeah, we are here today to talk about some interesting stuff.
Yeah. If you guys at any point the audio sounds low, let me know and I'll take my headphones out. You guys know I don't really know what's going on. So hopefully you can hear us loud and clear. I wanted Emerly to be on with this one because I think it's just more valuable to have a Dominican that is Dominican. I don't know. I don't want to sound like the expert on anything because I'm not. I don't want to talk about anything like too controversial or stereotypical without having someone who is Dominican, you know, who knows the culture more than I do. And so obviously Emerly agrees with me. We talked about this before. We want to make sure this is like respectful. It will be interesting to talk about some of the red flags that we see, some of the questions that I get all the time. Like, I don't know if people realize that so many people message me about their relationships with a Dominican, just kind of wondering if I think, hey, is this a red flag? Is that a red flag? So that's kind of why we want to do this. We are not in any way doing this to make fun of Dominicans, stereotype Dominicans, say that every Dominican relationship is fake or there's a red flag inevitably, or can't love in the DR. I'm not saying that Dominicans are more unfaithful than any other culture. This is just because my channel's mostly DR stuff. We're both, I'm married to a Dominican. Emerly's engaged to a Dominican. She is Dominican. So that is my disclaimer. Probably give some more throughout. You guys know I love my disclaimers because I don't want to offend anyone. So that's that. Okay. What we're going to start with.
About my people.
Yeah, Emerly, your people are amazing, but there are some things that people ask, so we're going to cover those. We're going to start with some of the red flags that we see, and then we'll move into like legitimate relationships, how we know that everything's on the up, everything's good, have a work out. It's just like any relationship you'd have in the States. So we're going to get into that too. But we'll start out with some of the red flags that we see for, I think, Emerly, what do you think? Like I think to me, it makes more sense to start with someone who might not be Dominican themselves, right? Like dating a Dominican, or in your case, like you were raised in the States, right?
Yes.
I see like some potential red flags, even if you are Dominican, right? Not growing up in the DR, sometimes it happens to Dominicans too, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Cool. So tell me, like, it's just the image that we have of you in Latin America. oh, that every gringa has blonde hair and blue eyes. I don't. It's because I'm Dominican on the inside. Emerly, what is a red flag that you see that might be more specific to the Dominican Republic in relationships, especially like brand new ones?
I think overall communication and not being able to understand your partner at least at the 50%.
That's a really good
I feel
one.
like that's the most important thing in a relationship. And if you're using a translator to have a conversation with your partner, I think that's a bit hard because number one, we know translators don't translate things 100%.
Correctly, yeah.
So you can totally try to say something and try to explain something and say something completely different. And then from there on, you're just like not really saying what you want to say to your partner.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And I always forget about that too. It's like number one
with anybody.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like me and you, let's say I went to DR, I met you, you only spoke Spanish and I only spoke English. Even that, our friendship can only reach a certain level, you know, because I can ask you on Google, what's your name? How old are you? What's your favorite sport? Like the basics. And we actually talk about this a good amount in the DR1 group, the people who are doing K1 visas. And I think other people talk about this as well. Is this
yeah.
We'll talk about that. Is that Sam? I'll talk about that in a sec. But I do think that is really important to mention. And that doesn't mean to say that you can't date or find love with someone who speaks a different language. You always hear those stories that are like, we never spoke one word of the same language and we fell in love. That totally happens. But we're just talking.
And you learn.
Right. You learn. So if you never learn, right, one of each other's languages, then that's where it's like, okay, how deep can the connection get? Like, how much do you truly know about each other? So something that we talk about, hi, Sam, something we talk about is like, if your conversations are consistently always on a surface level, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? How's your day? What are you doing? How's work? What'd you eat? Like, do you truly know that person on like their passions, like what they like and what they don't like? That's just something I see. And Emerly, you probably have seen this with people you know too, where I have, like, they don't speak at all. And neither of them really learn either.
Yes, and it's like at that point, how do you set goals for each other and how do you guys know what you guys want in the future together, or like what one's like motivation in life is? Like, you don't know that if you don't communicate on that level. Like, if you're just asking every day, hi, how are you? Like, that's how I talk to my friends. So you basically have a friend, you don't have a partner.
Yeah,
and we're not saying
like
that you can't like exactly, you can't. I'm not saying like you can't be in love with like someone you can't communicate in the same languages and that you speak in, or like that you use a translator. I will never judge you for that because I was born to Dominican parents, and sometimes my fiance says something and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So I translate it. That's normal.
Yeah.
But it's like if you're translating every single thing, that's hard. Like I don't know how people do that.
Yeah, every single thing is, I mean, we've all seen 90 Day Fiance where like they're translating every sentence. That's probably could be a red flag. Sam said, if you think it's a red flag, then it is. That's how you know. The same thing when someone thinks an American is cheating or has false intentions is the same. If your spirit says it's wrong, it's wrong. And that's a good point too. I mean, like a lot of times people will be like, no, we really know each other. We really know each other. But if you sit down and think about it, and if you can answer that and say, yeah, I know that person, I know their hopes and desires and dreams and whatever, then that's fine. Like, that's good. But I think deep down people do know, like, do we have a deep connection or do we not? You know? So that's true. You definitely have to listen to your intuition. Thank you, Sasha.
Yeah. I mean, if you have that like gut feeling and you're thinking twice about your relationship, then something's clearly wrong.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, like, the issue is people just ignore that feeling. And because everyone wants to be in love and like find someone, and Dominicans are freaking, I will say this till I die, the smoothest talkers. I feel like, why wouldn't you want to like make that work? Because they're so smooth, like they're so romantic. Like I would want to convince myself to.
As a Dominican would say, tienen labia.
No, truly, truly. Let me just close these blinds real quick. Now I'm like in the pitch black. Okay, so that's a good one. If you use a translator for the big majority of your interactions, could be a red flag. I have, unfortunately, when I was living in DR, I've seen Dominicans talk about their American partner in front of them, and they don't know because they don't speak Spanish. So it's like, that just sucks. You know, it just sucks. You don't want to sit there and be like, what is he saying about me? I don't know. Yeah, Dominicans are super smooth.
Like you're just awkwardly there, not understanding conversation at all.
Yeah. And that's me sometimes too, as it is. So like, cool. Another red flag that we can talk about is, I think, and this is definitely, do not mean to offend anyone, but a lot of times, and again, relationships can start in any way, but a lot of times they're on a vacation. And you go to a resort in Punta Cana. Maybe it's your first time in the DR ever. You don't know the country. You don't know the language. Aw, look who joined. That's Emerly's fiance. You just don't know the DR, the people, and you're at a resort and you meet like someone a Dominican that works at the resort, or he works at the bar or on the entertainment team or something like that. Now, I have a lot of friends who started like that. So I want to be really careful in saying that does not mean that you're with a sanky, with someone who's fake, that it's a huge red flag. What I am saying is I think it increases the chances that could potentially be a questionable relationship. Like, do I think everyone? Absolutely not at all. Not at all. I know 10 people off the top of my head that are married to a Dominican now. Great relationship. Met them at the resort, and it's great. But for me, I've seen this story. I know I'm trying to justify so much. I don't want you guys to think I'm being like stereotypical or stupid or whatever. So just know I'm saying this based on what I've seen. But Emerly, you can tell us too. How often do we see like the stories of people who are sankis or are chappies start in a resort?
I want to say 6 out of 10.
You got specific.
Like, okay, honestly, my fiance told me this once, and he literally said most of the guys that go work at resorts are looking for someone to take them out of here.
Right, and I can't,
because we all know. No, we all know that you don't get paid well in the Dominican Republic because it is a third world country. Everyone goes there to vacation and whatnot, but they don't go on the outside. So like they don't know what's going on the outside, and it's not like all resorts and beautiful beaches and all that stuff. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of stuff going on, which these people live in. So they go to resorts sort of to like seek asylum, and they get, housing there. They get the opportunity to meet foreigners who can potentially take them out of the country. Like, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't think twice about it. I probably would have done the same thing. Now, could they do it for like to be interested in leaving the country and potentially fall in love? Yes. You can meet the love of your life like anywhere, and you can fall in love with someone like anywhere, and there's no problem with that. That's why it's not like, oh, someone at a resort likes me, I can't date them because they're looking for papers. No.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's true. Like you could go in being like, maybe working at a resort is going to better my life in the future. Like, sure. But that doesn't mean like you don't meet someone who you do fall in love with. Like, statistically, if you work at a resort, you're meeting so many more people on a daily basis. If you in Paraguay at the Pomado and you see the same 10 people every day, right? So it's like, sure, your opportunities open up. The problem comes in when it is a guy or a girl who's working at a resort for the sole intention of meeting someone. And a lot of them find a woman or multiple women who come on, like, it's funny. And I feel like this might be the older women, but they go on trips to the DR like frequently. So they could go like twice a year to the same resort, think that they're in a relationship with someone who works at the resort. And then that guy also has 3 other women that are coming and going, right? Like,
he's probably looking for the first to take him. But
yeah,
back to what I was saying. Did you watch the movie?
Did I watch
what?
What?
There specifically to see if the movie Sanky Panky?
Just parts of it.
So
I know, I need to watch it.
Basically, he goes to work in the DR. I mean, in the resort in like I think it's Punta Cana. So he specifically finds someone who's going to take him out of the country, and he ends up falling in love with a young girl. So it's not like, you know, as I was saying, like they're just going there to get out of the country. Like you may generally like actually fall in love with someone who works at a resort, and we won't judge you for it.
Yeah. And like I said, I know like 10 people who've had successful relationships and marriages from, I keep saying with men, because mostly Emerly and I talk to girls that have met men at resorts who worked even on the animation team, and they're good because they're more evenly matched, if that makes sense. Caribbean Life said some do hope for love too, but they think that worst case, they have a chance for a good life, but there's no for sure. So totally like, hey, I'm going to go work at a resort. Maybe I'll meet someone who will take me in a better situation. I can send money home. They only make like $200 a month at the resort, even though you're spending $1,000, $2,000 that week. They're not making a lot. So it's kind of like an opportunity thing. Martin, I've been dating Dominican women since 15. If not have jobs, it's not going to work. If they don't have jobs, but the latest iPhones and fancy clothes run. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that too, like some red flags for sure. But just staying on the resort thing for a second, and I just say resort, but and this could be anywhere. When you see I'm sorry to say, when you see a 60-year-old woman with a 20-year-old man, Dominican man, that it usually is a red flag. Vice versa, if you see an older man, American man, let's say, with a 20-year-old Dominican girl who maybe is a waiter there or something, to me, that's a red flag too. The age difference, for sure.
And you see that a lot here. You definitely see that. You even see that in the Facebook groups and the K1 visa, CR1 Facebook groups. Like you see everyone's posting, you see their pictures, and you see there are young girls or young guys even with like older partners, and you're just like, whoa, what's the real intention here?
Yeah, it makes you like stop and think for a second. Again, I know a few people that have very large age gaps, and it seems like they're genuinely in love and they're doing well, and that's awesome. But you guys can't lie and say that a huge, like a 20-year age gap is not something to like make you kind of be like, oh, like, you know, like interesting, especially when it's like a very attractive young man, and an older, I don't know, I don't want to be mean. They're not big.
No, it's like
thing.
Dating someone who could be their mother.
Yeah.
Or father.
And who maybe looks like their mother too.
Exactly.
Like, because sometimes like they look good for their age. You don't even see the age gap. But Dominicans are they care about their appearance, right? Like you can probably attest to that. Like Dominicans care what they look like, and they take care of themselves. Like, you know, I go to the store looking like this, worse than this, and they're probably like, this American girl is a mess. But
My
Dominicans
mom
like
does not
chill
leave the
out.
house without eyeliner and lipstick. Like, I'll tell you that much. My mom will not leave the
Yeah,
house, even if she's going down the street to the supermarket, without eyeliner and lipstick.
that's crazy to me. Mom like notice it in me. Um, that's hilarious. But no, it's true. They do care what they look like. So it's like it does kind of give you a second thought that, like, you're with someone who maybe doesn't match you physically, which again, people have their own preferences, guys, but it to me is a red flag. DR women look good 9 times. Like, I only see like them looking like not good, whatever, when they're in their house, like alone. Otherwise, their hair is done, their makeup's done. Like, yeah, same. But I don't look good in the street either. It's fine.
When it's
And yeah,
Friday and you let your doobie out and you're just like,
oh yeah,
oh,
when the
it's
tubie comes
Friday.
off, it's like magic. I'm like, I love watching Dominican girls take their tubie off because I'm like, what? How the hell did you put that under that? Like, I wore a tubie once. I took it off and it was like nothing happened. I was like, okay, cool. Like, they look good. And yeah, Martin, you're right. That's something that a lot of American men might like when they go to the DR and they see all these like beautiful Dominican women. I mean, they're naturally beautiful too, but they also put in the effort. And that Dominican woman, right, might see you as an opportunity to have a better life or have me. I said, if they don't have a job, they do work, but they have an iPhone, they have really nice clothes, they have all this stuff. It's like, where are they getting that? Especially if you know where they live, right? Like, if you are able to see their house, where they live, you'll get a better perspective. Like, does their material wealth equal, you know? And it's funny because, again, a lot of older men will go find a younger woman and think that that woman really loves them. And she might, but like, do you think a young, like, Emerly, would you want to be with like a 7-year-old man? Like, I don't know.
No.
Right.
I will not date someone who's like 5 years older than me.
Right.
That's just me. I cannot picture myself. I think the most I'd go is maybe 10 years, and that is a lot for me.
Yeah, that's like pushing it for sure. I think.
So I can't imagine how you have that. Like, do you even have an attraction at that point? Like, or is that, I don't know, like.
And at a certain point, it's, and we're not talking about like the older women or the older guys that go down there to find someone to have a good time with just for that week, right? Like, there is a whole nother kind of issue with that and kind of exploiting young women and men in the DR and stuff just for sex, basically. But, I don't know if I can say that word for that. But we're talking about relationships where one person is under the impression that you're genuinely in love and have a future and you're going to get married. So that's what we're talking about. Like, if obviously you just want to go for a good time, then there's a benefit. He gets what he wants and she gets a good, like, good food, good money, good time, whatever. Sasha, this is a good one. Another red flag is if they have sisters or brothers. And that actually happened to me. And I think I've touched on this with you guys a little bit. I'll just mention it really quickly. There was a Dominican guy that I guess was trying to talk to me in like 2015, 2016, whatever. And he kept telling me that the girl in his picture who looked older than him was his aunt, like adamantly, like, that's my aunt, that's my aunt, that's my aunt, blah, blah, blah. And I'll use him for a couple more examples.
That's my cousin.
Yeah, that's my cousin, but we lived together. He ended up being his fiance, who lived in New York, was Dominican, but born and raised in the States. And he was just lying and calling her his aunt. First of all, if you call me your aunt and I am your wife or your fiance, we have a problem. Like, I will beat you, legit. But what Sasha's saying is, if there is like a girl, I don't know, you can kind of tell if, like, is that your sister or no? But am I telling myself like, yeah, that's his sister or that's his cousin? A lot of times it's not.
Well, I'll be honest. We do tend to have a lot of cousins and a lot of family members.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I alone have like 38 cousins. My mom
Yeah.
has like 10 siblings, and each sibling has at least 2 or 3, 4 or 5 kids. So they have
That's
their
a
kids,
lot.
and I have a lot of cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, it gets a bit sus when they're like, yeah, this is my cousin, and this is my cousin, and this is my cousin, and this is my cousin. And they have a million pictures with like different people.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a guy, for example, like always with a girl, or always drinking with girls, or always doing whatever with girls, and always telling you like that's my cousin. It's a bit sus. Like,
Yeah, it's a
do
little
what's your thing.
weird. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you can. I've seen situations where the man, let's just say a Dominican guy, will bring their American girl to their city, to their house, to meet their family, which here in the States is a really big deal. Like if you meet a guy's family, if you go over for a meal, that's a big deal. Like I've dated guys for mad long and never met their family.
Like that's a wedding plan right there. That alone is just a
Yeah,
wedding plan.
but I've seen them bring them to their town, go to their house, have a meal, and literally their wife is there and their kids are there. And they say, like, these are my cousins, that's my aunt, that's my sister. And they're in on it. And they're like, this is fine. You can like go chill with that American when she's here for a week or two because she's going to send you money. That is like, I don't know how that is, but it definitely happens, right?
I don't doubt it at all. Like, if
Yeah.
the
I mean, I've heard
opportunity
that.
comes up, you're gonna take it. So I'm not surprised.
If you need it. I mean, again, I would never, being the woman, but you have to think about like, if they need the money, then that's just an opportunity, and you're not dumb, but if you fall for it, then it is kind of what it is. With large age gaps, they don't have the same goals and they aren't the same stage in life. So it makes you question if it's authentic. That's really good. So not just like the attraction level, like physically, or if you guys look good together, but it's like, what are you going to do when that person's 80 and you're 40? You're like you're in a completely different stage of life.
Even then, it's like, let's say a 60-year-old man and a 20-year-old girl. It's like, this
Right.
girl is ready to start partying and start, maybe potentially having kids within the next 5 years. And you're at that point where, like, can you have kids anymore? Or, like, you're going to have your wedding plans and you're going to have everything. But, like, what are you going to do in the next 10 years? Like, are you going to buy a house, or do you already have a house? Or did you already pay your house? Or are you going on retirement soon? Like, it's a lot to think about. There are a lot of goals. Like, you have different goals when you're 20 versus when you're 30, when you're 40, when you're 50. So it's like a 20-year-old, like you just can't share, or it's really hard to share the same goals when there's such a big age gap. So yes, definitely.
I think so. And like a lot of the times, especially if it's an older woman, Dominican times, it's fine, want kids, right? Like it's fine. I feel like if you're serious, that's great. But sometimes, like most Dominicans that I know want kids. I think it's like family's very important in Dominican culture. Most guys that I want kids, most women I mean want kids. So when they say like it's okay if we don't have kids or at any point, I think that could be an issue that comes up again in the future. Makes sense.
Yes. I feel like a lot of people take a lot of pride and joy in keeping their last name going, let's say, especially guys. So it's like when let's say your wife doesn't want to have kids, like that is a really big deal if you cannot agree on like.
Yeah, you definitely have to be on the same page. 100%. Force usually with a choppy or working girl. I guess we can define this really quick because I didn't really do it. Also, let me just say the what's it called? The thumbnail. Emerly is in my thumbnail, and I put an arrow like pointing to her being like choppy. That was a joke, guys. Like I'm not calling Emerly a choppy. Just I think I'm funny. She thinks I'm funny. She said so. That
I
was that.
have the latest iPhone and I don't work, so am I? Just kidding, I do
I
work.
know, right? I don't know. You're kind of suspicious. No, but a chapi, if you saw that picture, is short for chapiadora. And Emerly, I guess, do you want to tell us like what that means?
Translating it to English, it's gold digger,
Yeah, just like for someone who
basically.
doesn't know that word. Yeah.
Someone who's interested in your money. So someone who is going to use you for money, whether it be $5 or $50 or $500, or if you can buy them an iPhone, you can buy them the medicine that their grandma needs, or you can anything that you can contribute to them, they will take, and that is a chappy.
Yeah, they might have a
And
couple
not,
other guys too.
I was gonna say, yeah, guys can be chappies.
Guys can be chappies too, but I always think of guys as sankies. Do we think that's different?
Because sanky to me was like a guy looking for papers.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess a
Or
guy
someone
can be
looking
a
for
chapi,
paper.
yeah. Yeah, okay. So a sanky would be more so someone who wants to come to the States for papers, is faking the entire relationship, where a chapi is like, they could be completely happy staying in the DR. They just want their lifestyle like supported, money.
Exactly.
They could have several guys, several girls. Okay, that makes sense.
And rarely do they work or have a good job at least.
Yeah, or the job's like doesn't equal what they can afford. Like, you know, they work at a Comado and then they're buying like the iPhones, because iPhones are freaking expensive in DR. Like technology, things like that, they're not cheap. It's not like, oh, we have a good deal. No, not at all. They're all imported.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are more expensive than they are in the States.
Yeah, I think they're more. Something that you mentioned, which is good, is interesting, or we'll touch on, is the phone thing. So I will sometimes see, and this guy that I mentioned before he had two phones. They'll have like two flip phones, or like one iPhone, one flip phone, whatever. And they have different numbers. They're talking to people on different on different phones, and if you check their phone, you won't see anything on it because they're giving you the good one, and then they use the other one to talk to their girls or guys. I have seen that a good amount.
Another thing that's pretty funny to me is like you'll have the latest iPhone, like they
Right.
will have the 11 Pro Max and all this nice stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they don't have enough money to refill their like internet card, or because it's very hard for you to get like an actual unlimited call and text internet plan in DR. It's actually really expensive, so it's not worth doing. So a lot of people just like buy weekly refills on like their internet, or or like they buy, I don't know, 200 minutes or whatever, and you'll see people over there like, oh shoot, I don't have minutes, don't call me through WhatsApp, or oh shoot, I don't have data, like déjame poner una tarjetica. So it's like, how can you afford an iPhone but you can't afford an internet plan?
Yeah.
You can't afford to keep internet on it for a week.
And the internet is really cheap there. Another thing while we're talking about internet is they never have internet, right? So like if you are in a long distance relationship, you're back in the States and your Dominican girlfriend or boyfriend is in DR and they lose contact with you for hours and hours, that's a red flag to me. And
I would die and I would kill him
same.
too. Like you just don't do that.
No, you don't do that. But it's like internet does go out a lot there. The internet goes out a lot, sometimes for hours, but it comes back. And I feel like there's always other ways to get in touch. Like, I don't know. The internet goes out. Carabocoa, my internet would sometimes go out for 4 hours, right? In Santiago, not so much, maybe an hour. I just think like if your girlfriend or boyfriend cannot spend time in contact with you throughout the day, it doesn't need to be like every hour, right? But if you go like 24 hours and they're not answering you, and then they say, oh, my internet, oh, se fue la luz, like, no, because every cafe, every restaurant in DR has Wi-Fi, like more than the States. If you're out to eat, have Wi-Fi.
Oh, and they could have password, and they will be more than happy to give it to you.
No, everyone has Wi-Fi in the DR. Yeah, like every restaurant, I think.
So it's funny you like talking about this because yes, the electricity can go away for hours, and like not everybody has generators, so the Wi-Fi goes away. Okay, whatever. But
Right.
like, if you're not being considerate of your significant other's like mental health as well, like imagine being married to someone and you don't hear from them for over 24 hours. That is concerning.
No,
You're gonna think
no.
the worst. You're gonna have anxiety. Like if you don't think about the anxiety that your significant other is going through when you disappear for 24 hours, that says a lot about you.
Yeah,
Or
that's a
about your
really
other
good point.
personality.
Like, do they actually love you? Because knowing me and knowing you, he could answer you for like, if your fiance didn't answer you for 24 hours, you would be like, thinking worse. And so would I, just because there's so many freaking car accidents there. Like, let alone out cheating, right? Like, that's another thing. If you have that thing in your head, which if you're secure in your relationship, you shouldn't. But the accidents thing is what I always think about. Like, he could find an accident somewhere and not texted you. So that person really needs to like be in touch.
My fiance got in a really bad accident one time, like almost died.
Yeah.
If he would have worn his seatbelt, so it's like I can't even see the picture because it gives me like anxiety.
Oh,
so
no.
I can't
I saw
imagine
that
him going
picture.
through that again. I'm trying to find it real quick.
The picture is terrible, guys.
It was
I mean, the thing is, if you're electrician, always like, you can contact someone. If their WhatsApp is broken, you can use Facebook, or you can call, or you can do this, or you can call the mom. Like, there's different ways. So if you see that that person's frequently out of touch and having dumb excuses, that's a red flag.
So here's the picture real quick of the accident. Like,
yeah, I don't like that picture at all. Thank you.
That car,
no, he got so lucky. Just like nervous even about the amount of accidents I have seen there. I think an age gap of 10 years or more is too much. I agree personally for me, but I know it works for other people. Age difference doesn't have to be large. We're 6 years apart. He would love to have a kid. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you guys are on the same page, it doesn't matter about the kids or whatever, but you just have to be clear up front or whatever. I don't think 6 years is a lot. Male chapiadora is a chapiadora. Oh yeah, it's that's true. Males can definitely be choppies then, for sure.
We see that a lot.
Yeah. I know a lot of Dominican slang. I do, because I love Dominican slang. Something else with the phone is the social media. So I've seen Dominicans have several Facebook pages. And this is another thing that the one I mentioned did. He would say, oh, that page? Like, no, that's from 4 years ago, and I never go on it, and I don't remember the password, or blah, blah, blah. Or you'll go back to their Facebook page, and we'll go on. And like, that's weird. Where'd your Facebook go? And I'll be like, someone hacked me, and oh, I got hacked again. I keep getting hacked, and they're trying to make it look like I have a girlfriend, but I promise I don't. I'm like, boy, what is the story? Like, why do you keep getting hacked? Yeah. Like, what's going on? I think that is a big red flag, guys. Like, any social media weirdness, like if they don't add you on their Facebook, if they don't add you on their Instagram, if they have several of them, I mean, without a good reason, like obviously a business one and a personal, that's normal. If you find new accounts for them that they didn't tell you about, I think that's weird. And that's not just Dominicans.
Yeah, no, this goes for everybody in general.
Yeah.
I think it's very suspicious when you can't have your significant other on social media. Just because, this
that
is
to
the
me
person you plan on spending your life, the rest of your life together. Like, you don't know what this person is doing on the internet. You don't know, like, it's just, why can't you have a significant other on Instagram or any social media in general? Like, you just, I don't know.
That's weird. That's so weird. If they straight up don't add you on their social media, that's so weird to me. Or if they don't tag you in any pictures.
exactly. Or they refuse to even post pictures with you.
Yeah.
That to me is very suspicious because like I feel like if you're proud of your relationship, you would love everyone to see it. It's like if it were up to me, honestly, I'd be posting a picture every day with my fiance, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not gonna,
I know it
tire
gets like
people out. And
annoying,
like,
right?
I only posted two
Well,
pictures from my engagement shoot, and I have like 35 pictures, and I'm just
oh,
like, I don't want to
goodness.
annoy
Yeah,
people,
they're
but
so
like,
cute.
whatever. Oh, thank you. So, when you like are hesitant about posting pictures with someone, like I feel like that says a lot.
Yeah. And especially that goes back to like, again, I do feel like again, guys, I know this sounds stereotypical. Most Dominicans I know love taking pictures. They love like looking good and taking pictures when they're out. Like, I swear every time I go out to eat and I'm in the bathroom, some girl's having a photo shoot in there, like legit. And it's because why not? She's with her and she looks good. Like, I would be jealous. I'd be like, Chris will take one picture and he's like, done. And I'm like, I need a girl here so I can have my photo shoot. But they like looking good and they like taking pictures and they like putting it on social media, a lot of them. So I feel like if they're not showing you off, it's like, why? Like you just said, like, why? Why would you not want them on your page? Do you want to come across as single? Because I've seen a lot of people's pages that you would never know that they're in a relationship, let alone married, because of that.
So also, I know there's people who don't post their significant because I used to be like this in my previous relationship. I just felt like I didn't have to show the world that I'm with this person so that
Right.
he can believe that like I love him or anything. Just like
To
when
prove it.
someone
Yeah.
tells you, "Hey, post a picture with me," or like when your boyfriend tells when your boyfriend tells you like you need to post a picture with me, you kind of think like, why?
Yeah.
And, some people just simply don't want to let all of their personal information out or like their personal life, and that's fine. But
Right.
you can do that, but don't look single on social media
Yeah.
or
Don't
don't try
hide
to
you.
like call people's attention. Because
Mhm.
there's a thing between like trying to get someone's attention and there's something, just being yourself, like posting about your life or posting what you want without having to show off your significant other, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. I agree. So that's a red flag, guys. If they all the different like accounts or one keeps getting hacked or one is inactive but it's not, and they don't let you even touch their phone, see their messages, read their texts. I don't think that's healthy to do every day or anything like that. But if they're very secretive with their phone and always hiding it, it's always on them. That's a red flag for any relationship. Caribbean Life said, I'm 12 years older. We have no kids together and we have been married for 13 years. Yeah. So definitely, I hope like I'm not making it sound like I think that any age gap or kids or no kids is
No,
not
that to
real.
me is like that's amazing. Like congratulations,
Yeah.
13 years of marriage is amazing.
It is.
Yeah, that is a really long time. That's like
Yeah.
almost half my life. Like I'm pretty young, 21.
Okay.
So I
Let's
mean,
not talk about
being
age.
honest here.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but we're not saying like an age gap is bad. I just personally couldn't be able to do that. It's not my
Mhm.
thing.
It just gives you a second to pause when I see, and it's always like, it's more obvious. I don't know. I can tell, like, you can tell when people are in love, and you can tell when, like, oh, that young girl is clearly, and it makes me sad when it's like a young girl with an older guy for some reason. But an old woman, the younger guy, you can really tell with body language, like, is that guy actually into her? Or is he just pretending to be because they're at the bar and they're at the resort? And you can really tell based on how they look and if you're interpreting it. This is a good one though. If they have long-winded excuses and they talk fast, I talk fast. But if you're like, I don't know, like, oh, why did you not answer me for 24 hours? Like for 5 minutes, and you can't even say anything. And then by the end of their thing, you feel dumb because they're like, claro que no, like, why would I be out? Or why would I be doing this? Or blah, blah, blah. Sometimes I'm like,
Tú sabes que yo estaba aquí, que estaba en esto, y Juanita me llamó, y estaba haciendo esto, y se fue la luz, y se fue el señal, y se
yeah,
fue el agua, y se fue todo. And you're just like, what does the
right.
water have to do with you not talking to me?
I know. And like before you can say anything, it's like, pero baby, te amo, tú eres bonita. It's like, oh, then it's a distraction. So like, great. Another thing is like you mentioned it before, but if like I don't even know how we didn't mention this yet, but if they ask you for money, that to me can be a big, big red flag right off the jump. Like if you're in a new relationship and you know them at the months and you're on your vacation, now you're back home and you're dating and they're asking you for money, please run. Like, no.
The thing is, they also won't say like, send me $50. They're going to give you that excuse. They're going to say, oh, baby, my mom is sick and she needs medicine and we can't buy it for her, or I don't have money to buy this and I need it, or I can't do this. And you're just like, but you have a late iPhone and you bought new shoes last week and you did this and you did that. Like, it's just,
or you work
have really
too.
Like, yeah, you work, exactly. Like, or your whole family works, which is another thing. Like, I hope you at least know what's going on in the family before you plan on marrying someone.
Right. Like, meanwhile, your grandma's sick every month, you know, or your grandma died last year and I sent you money for her funeral, but now she's sick. Like, it's like, there's a lot of like things. Sometimes they'll be like, or this one, which I hear a lot. It's like, more like, I want to talk to you, but I don't have money for the internet. So like, send me money for my phone so I can talk to you. And they make it sound like it's like, because I love you, I want to talk to you.
I'm doing it for you.
Yeah. But it's, first of all, internet is mad cheap there. And I would be like, okay, here's $5. But a lot of people who don't know the culture and they don't know about the DR and they just went on vacation once, they don't know how much Wi-Fi is. They could be like, well, I pay $200 a month and my phone is $200 a month, so I'll send $200 or something. Like, now they just made a profit of like 100%.
Dude, you $200 for like the whole year, maybe.
On internet,
not that expensive. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get a recarga for like $3 a week.
And he just mentioned it, so it's like a lot of times it will be like for your benefit, like, you know, oh, I want to do this for you. I want to be in touch with you. I need a new phone because mine doesn't work well and it's not fair because I want to talk to you. So it's like, now I feel bad, you know?
They'll ask like, do you have an old phone that you don't use? Like, no, I didn't.
Always, you have an old iPhone. People will also do that. Like my friends, you know, not my friends, people I know will even be like, do you have an extra iPhone? Because they are so expensive there. So yeah, someone asked if we're sisters. I wish. No, we can be. It's fine. In the heart, no.
Somewhat.
I wish. I mean, sure, I'll go with it. I wish. Long shopping list of stuff to bring back to them. Yeah, like if you're going back on a trip to visit your girlfriend or boyfriend, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I really like these Nikes, and like, oh, an iPhone would be nice, and like, oh, my mom needs this, and also this, and also this. It's like, no one ever does to me. Guys. Not Chris, because, well, I lived there, so it's different. I wasn't coming back to visit. But even when I would come on a trip without him, never. His family, literally never. My friends, never. So like, even if like friends aren't doing that, but your girlfriend or boyfriend is, it could be bad.
I mean, I guess it depends on what level you're at, because, you know, like if they want something and it's easier for you to get it here, like, okay, that's fine. But like, yeah, once you make a list, like, oh, I need underwear and I need socks and I need shoes and I need shirts and I need this and I need that, and especially when they ask for something that's like technology, you have to think about it, because it's not something that's impossible to get over there. And like,
and it's not, and it will be like I've heard people asking like a Gucci belt. I'm like, why do you need a Gucci belt? I don't have one. I don't want one. Like, Like, it's like fashion stuff. I'm like, no, like that makes no sense.
Honestly, you just bring them one from Chinatown. Like, you wanted a Gucci belt, I got you a Gucci belt. You never said it had to be real.
Yeah, facts. I don't, mine would not be real. It's like that they're, like you said, like if they need a medication, if they need like something that's way more expensive in DR and you can just bring it easily, that's fine. But also like if they're telling you like, I need this stuff, here's the money, and they send it, then that's fine. But they never do. Like they're never like, I want new shoes, here's the $50. It's like, hi, can you bring me shoes? And then that's it. Like that's a red flag.
They can't figure out how to send you a payment. Like,
oh
how
yeah,
can I
because
send you the money? I need this.
And it never, yeah, like that's another red flag, personally, I think. What's another one that we talked about for the age gap, possibly where you meet them at the resort, or you have one?
When your partner is like perfect, like they want to come off as like the perfect person for you. So
That's
it's
good.
like they have no flaws and they know you're singing a song and they're like, yeah, I know that song and I know what you're talking about and I know everything, and they just come off as perfect. And because they want, like, obviously you would want to be with like someone who's perfect or someone who like you share a lot in common with, and it's like when they try very hard to like fulfill your interests, I feel like that's not genuine.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I don't know, I feel like that's just them trying to be interested in it, or like get you more interested in them. I'm trying to find any excuse to get you interested.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like there, no one has the same interest in everything. So if they're like overly, like overly trying to appeal to that, that could be that they just want you to like them, I'm trying to think what else. I do see a lot in this like specific group, and it's literally a group to basically put a picture of a guy, mostly guys that you're talking to. I think it's for sankies. And then you see like, are they a sanky? Do you guys know this guy? He works at Rue or whatever. Or however you say that, resort, whatever, Hard Rock. And then they're always like, hey, like, I know that guy. I talked to him. I dated him, or he's dating my friend. And it's like, they start talking about all the red flags and stuff. And it's like, so stressful. This is a really good one. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, I actually had that one in mind. When they try to elope, or like do like, let's get married, like your family doesn't have to agree.
Yeah.
Or your mother or father's hand in marriage. That to me is a really big deal. So it's like, if you don't want the family involved, that alone says a lot about you. And we've spoken about meeting the family before getting married and all that stuff. And sometimes maybe it's not possible. You can get a genuine relationship and not meet your significant other's family. But I feel like once you're kind of like refusing to meet the family, or like refusing to communicate with the family, like, what really are your intentions? Because once you marry someone, your family is their family is yours.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't you want to
I
know
feel
them?
like exactly, or like when you try to like have control in the relationship. So if you like want to control your significant other and like turn them away from the family or against the family, like that is also a red flag. And mostly with marriage, or at least like trying to convince the other person, like, let's get married, our life will be easier in the States, we'll be
and it's like
together
really
like
fast. Like
exactly, like you met them last month and they're already talking about the green card.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how we didn't mention that yet, but it's like, if they're talking about a green card so fast, it's like, what? Like, why in what relationship are you going from casually, like, we just met, to now we're dating, to now we're serious enough to get married, to then planning for you to move to the States? Like, that's not common. Like, wouldn't you want to get to know that person better? I mean, even when I see two Americans that are getting married in 2-3 months, I'm like, what? Why? Wait, hold on. Why are we rushing? Like, you're stressing me out. But it's like, it's the same
I mean,
thing.
it happens.
It happens. Yeah, it does. And it's like, fine. But especially with one trip, like people will go on one trip to a resort one time, come back, think that they're seriously dating this person, and then they're talking about marriage. And I don't, like, I'm not judging if you can't go free because flights are expensive and stuff, but like, to me, if I met you one time on one trip and then I come home and we're talking about getting married, it's like, that's a lot.
Yeah. I think that like you can get into a serious relationship with someone you just
Yes.
recently met. Like, I believe in love at first sight. I don't know. That's just me. A lot of people do, a lot of people don't, whatever. You
Yeah.
can have that and you can think like, you know, this is the person for me, whatever, and
Right.
like plan to do everything in 3 months. But it's like you really start to think like, how much do I know this person enough, or like, do I know this person enough to marry them this soon? Um, the good thing about the K1 visa though is once they get here, you have 3 months to get married. I don't think you last, or you're not supposed to wait like, you know, the whole 90 days.
To be
But
like, let me see if I am like you.
yeah, so it's like, you know, I guess the first month of living with this person at least, because you'd assume if you're planning on getting married, they're gonna move in with you or like you're gonna live together.
Yeah.
Um, you're gonna get to know this person, and if like you don't want to marry them, that's a big issue within those. I say within the first month. Now, I'll be honest, my relationship, we started dating. We've been dating for almost a year, like officially. But I had also known my fiance
Yeah, that's
for the
different.
past 11 years.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like
different.
a lot of people have told me,
Yeah.
like, oh, he's, be careful. He might be using you for
Yeah.
papers and he might be trying to take advantage of you and he might be doing this, that. But it's like, you know, someone's intentions, especially if you've known them for a long
Yeah,
time.
you've known him
Like I
for
said,
so long.
I've known him since I was 9 years old, so it kind of really pisses me off when someone says like, "Oh, you know, he's using you," or "Be careful if he takes advantage of you." Someone
Yeah.
just asked, "How did we meet?" So I was playing on the roof of like our friend's house in DR. His friend is my cousin's cousin, right? So I was on like the roof and he walked by. He saw me. I was like 9 years old. He was 13,
That's so young.
and so yeah, I was a little
Like, I
girl,
can't even
and
imagine.
he literally yelled at me. He was like, "Hey, do you want an empanada?" And I was like, "Who the
Yes,
hell is this?"
always.
Like,
Wow, he knows the way to my heart.
so
I'll be like, yep.
I just looked at him like, "Who are you?" So, you know, I knew who he was, and he ended up finding me on Messenger, and he found me on MySpace, and he found me on High Five, and
That's
then he found
so
me on
funny.
Facebook. And every time I went back to DR, we would always hang out, and he was like, you know, I kind of saw him as one of my cousins. He was always in all of my family stuff. We were always
Yeah.
hanging out. Like, I never went to DR and didn't see him. So, you know, I always knew he was in love with me, and he's always said his whole life that I'm like the love of his life or whatever. So here we are today.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, you're fine. Like, I don't think that's weird or questionable. I like at all, obviously, in your situation. Yeah, girl, like, give me a kipe or an empanada and I'm there. I mean, you could kidnap me and I would probably be like, you have food in the car? Okay. I'll be right over. Especially if you're 9. Oh my gosh. Now more so because I'm huge. I'm
I
starving.
should have said
Yeah,
yes.
and they have a cute story. I was thinking about something else too with the red flag. It's just, and what I usually tell people is, because it's really hard when someone tells me their situation, like, okay, I'll tell this in a sec, but like when they tell me their situation, it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, he's lying. Oh yeah, he's legit. Oh yeah. I don't know. I don't know that person. Like, I don't like to judge anyone and be like, oh, it's sketchy that he doesn't have a job and he doesn't work. Blah, 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 blah. But I do usually say to people, like, if you wouldn't date them at home, would you date them there? You know, like, if you're making a lot of excuses for them just because they're from another country, you need to stop and be like, why am I making so many excuses for this person, right? Because there are cultural differences. There are lifestyle differences. There are things that are just going to be different based on where we're from. But it's not, you date on your level. If you wouldn't date them at home, you don't date them in DR. It just adds so much complication. Like, dating someone from another country is harder than dating someone from the state, from your own country. So make it easier on yourself and date someone that's like equal to you. That's what I try to say. Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of didn't go through like the phase of like hard long distance relationship because you lived in DR, whereas I'm here and he lives there, and it's like really long distance. We've been in the K1 process we've been waiting for 7 months now for something. Like, you know, they received my file March 13th or whatever, so I'm still waiting NOA too. And it's like I had so many plans, like he should have been here by now or whatever.
Right.
We should have like gotten this over with. I should have been married by now. So it's like it's very hard to keep the patience and keep the love going and not falling into a routine and getting bored when you're away from the person. I mean, the last time I was there was in July. I was there for a month, but you know, even then it's just hard being in a long distance relationship, and I feel like a lot of people don't have the patience to do it.
No, definitely not. I honestly don't even know if it was Chris, I would do it if I had to. But I'm really grateful that I lived there with him, because the visa process is no joke. Like, it's not just like fun and like, you know, you just go every time you want to go. People work, that's expensive. Like, you have to really be in it. And it's to get someone here from another country that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Like Emerly said, it's so hard. Like, time, money, distance, communication, worrying about them. But if you, and I don't even want to say like this necessarily, because I don't think this is a good measure of red flag or not. But when I say like date on your level, I don't mean like, oh, if you went to college and you have a career that's good and they didn't even finish high school, it's never going to work. But you also do have to be honest with yourself and look at those life goals that we talked about, right? If you don't care that person doesn't have education or you know, the same level as you and doesn't have work experience or won't be able to get a good job in the States, and you can picture your life like that and it's fine, then I think that's fine. But I do usually recommend to people, like, again, if you would date a guy in the States who never finished high school and hasn't had like a good job ever, and you're okay with that because they might never reach the same level that you've reached, and you might not be able to like fulfill your lifelong dreams of owning this house and traveling and that's okay. But I think a lot of people say it's fine, like he or her is from another country, I can't expect them to be, you know what I mean, like in a nice way. Like, it just depends. Of course their opportunities are different, but a lot of times it's like you pictured this for your life and then now you're like, whatever, it's fine. I don't know. Not that it can't work.
It's just like I feel like when you really want something, you work for it no matter what. So, you know, if you bring someone here from another country and they really want to work and they really want to make, you know, decent money, you guys don't have to become millionaires. Like, I feel like everybody thinks that being successful is being a millionaire and owning a mansion and owning. No. Success to me is just living comfortably, debt free.
Right.
And I feel like if that's what they want and you guys are on the same level of success and like you have the same goals in life, then you're set, regardless of like if they work in McDonald's and you're a teacher.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. But if you're okay with that, that's fine. Like, if you're complaining about a guy in the States because he works at McDonald's and you don't like that, why are you dating a guy from the GR that works at the Colmado? Like, now you're being hypocritical because it's the same thing, you know? And it's like, or vice versa. Like, why would you date the guy at McDonald's and not the Colmado? Because now you're being hypocritical. So yeah, I just say, like, you do have to talk and think about those life goals, and is that person gonna like match you and help you get to them? You ladies are smart. Thank you. No one has given us a super chat this whole hour. Usually I get some by now, but that's fine. Amores del Caribe and your channel are my favorite. Thank you. I don't know if I know them, honestly. I'll have to check after this. I don't know if I know them. There are a lot of good channels. Some I never like come across, and I feel like the same ones always pop up for me. With like DR related stuff, at least, that's for sure. Not too many couples
with like really curly hair. And
is this like a huge channel? Like a huge channel. Maybe. Okay, I don't want any TRUMP ads on my video. Thanks. Let me look them up. But I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Oh no, they're not huge. I'll have to check them out. Why you should date Dominican women. I'll have to watch that. I'll have to say hi to them. I've never come across their channel before. What are some of the red flags that we have not touched on that you guys have experienced in your talking to Dominicans or observing in other relationships? Is there something that you often recommend people to like look out for if your friend tells you, you know, something that you're like, oh, that's a red flag? Besides like the money, the phones, the communication, age gap,
I think another red flag would also be like your significant other trying to control you while you're away in another country, like telling you can't go out or you can't do this or you can't do this, like that. Because at that point they're just controlling. That's toxic. You should not let someone control what you do. So I feel like that's not so much a red flag like in dating someone who's interested in you for papers, but more like
a general red
flag in any relationship.
Yeah, definitely. American or Dominican, that's a big red flag. And I know a lot of people who kind of experience that. And it's like, and again, let's talk about on the Dominican side is like, oh, Dominicans are territorial, or oh, Dominican men are more macho, so they like to tell you what to do. Don't make excuses for those behavior. Like, if that man is telling, like Chris is, my husband is, he's not a super macho, stereotypical, whatever, if we want to talk about that, but like, I don't know, he likes to sometimes like say, I don't even know what I'm saying. Basically, he's never said to me, you cannot talk to that person, or like, you cannot wear that. And if he did, he's made jokes like, oh, are you going to wear that? And I'm like, yep, yeah, I am. Like, if he tried to control what I wear, control who I talk, if you guys and your boyfriend or husband is like, you can't talk to any guys, to me, that's so toxic. Like,
that's
extremely
toxic. And to me, like, based on personal experience, my ex was doing that to me, but was cheating on me. So it's like, I feel like they do that to kind of like play the guilt card later on.
Yeah, to like put the tension away from them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times and then if they're straight up accusing you of cheating, I feel like it's so much more likely that they are, because it's like they're mirroring their like guilty conscience.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Like, no, sir. Hi, I'm always home. But yeah, I don't like the like control thing, like, or vice versa. Oh, she's Dominican, so she's more flirty, so it's fine that she's always all over guys. Blah blah blah. Like people need to treat you with respect, like regardless. You know, I don't know. It's on both sides, but that's another like sign of just like a not good relationship in general. I've also sadly seen people be like, oh, he like will push me around, but that's normal for Dominicans. Or she's really feisty and she'll hit me, but she's sassy because she's Dominican. That's, guys, that's not normal. That's not at all normal. Do not let anyone tell you that like Dominicans are more likely to hit you and that's okay. You just chill. Like, no.
I feel like you allow what you want to allow. So
yes,
you want to allow your significant other, regardless of if they're Dominican or not, to talk to you in, you know, a high tone, or like if they yell at you, or if you have to serve their food every time you make dinner. Like, you allow what you want to allow. You don't always have to be like that. You don't always have to put up with that shit. Like,
yeah, I'm not serving you because your mom did, for example. Not saying that Chris thinks that, but like, no, guys, you do. That's you do allow like what you allow. Lucy, this is a good question. Any advice for a couple just starting the K1 process during this difficult time? First of all, I feel so bad for anyone in the K1 visa process right now because it's even harder, more stressful than when I did it, and it was hard and stressful then. It's worse now because of the delays. You don't know what's going on. The appointments are canceled. Everything's different. I would tell you like to go into it with patience. Unfortunately, don't put like an end date in your mind. Like it's sad. Like I know Emerly, for example, you were like, I just hope he's here by Christmas, right? And it's sad when like you have a plan in your mind. Oh, we're gonna do this summer. Oh, we can do that. Oh, he'll be here for my birthday. And then it's like if that doesn't happen, then you're just like super, super bummed.
I submitted my petition in March, and that was like right when COVID was starting here. We didn't know how serious it was going to be at that. I think around that time there weren't even cases here in New York, so we weren't expecting delays. I thought, you know, like I even had a wedding date. My wedding date was supposed to be September 26th. So I think the same as
okay,
yours.
that's my wedding date. Literally the day we got married.
So
dang, I wish you
so
did.
you know, that was supposed to be like my date. We have a freaking invitation like that I made in March. This was our wedding plan. So Sally, I love you. So it's really difficult now when we don't know what's going on, when you had one plan in mind and it's like a completely different thing. Like I'm saying, he should have been here by now. When I don't even know when I'm going to get an approval, if I'm getting an approval, if I'm getting an interview date, if I can get an expedite. Like I tried to expedite at USCIS due to my brain condition, and they denied it. So at this point, it's like I don't even know. Do I have to swallow chlorine and tell them I'm dying? So like it's a lot.
Yeah, it's really hard. I'll just tell you to be lenient on your time that you think it's going to take, and make sure you have all of your paperwork 100% in order so you do not experience any delays. The last thing that right now, get an RFE, which is a request for more evidence, which means you could literally miss a box on your forms and you have to resend that paper just because of that. Please don't please go over and over it. You can read over it. I'll read over it, like whatever you want, because you don't want to delay your application anymore. Yeah, we both will. It's so annoying if you get an RFE and slow yourself down for, sometimes it's their fault, but for a month because, oh, you didn't send his birth certificate, or, oh, you didn't send a picture. Like, don't do that. But yeah, just patience, honestly, because K1 right now definitely sucks. But hopefully they're picking back up. Hopefully the appointments are coming and the interviews are coming and people like getting on now. I hope. I feel bad if anyone's
this gives you a lot of time to realize what you want and for you to prepare yourself to bring someone from another country. So, you know, you have, right now I've been waiting for 7 months. So at this point, you know, like I have like established myself financially, and I'm working on like savings for both of us. And I've also like gotten things prepared on my house to get ready for like his arrival, even though I don't know when he's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, use that time to save up, practice for the interview. If you guys can go to the interview, I would recommend, I always say, like, I recommend the American to go be present at the interview if they can, just because DR is one of the only countries that allows the petitioner to attend the interview. So I think it's helpful a lot of the time to go to the interview. They see your relationship and any potential red flags that they have, whether it be an age gap or something that is maybe a red flag on paper, like we've been talking about, but a lot of you prove it wrong that it's not, and you have a real relationship. You can prove them wrong in person. So if you can, that'd be great. Oh, meeting in Barbados next week.
They feel off your vibe.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I feel like it's very easy to tell. I don't know, like, you can't just look at a couple and say they're legit, they're in love, and then look at another one, they're not in love. Like, I people's body language, how they talk to each other. Like, I don't know. I feel like there are ways to kind of pick up on little vibes, at least, right?
For sure.
Yeah, because there's people I see, like, when I lived there and they were dating, and the girl is always like, pulling away, or the guy is always like not more like cariñoso, like affectionate, touchy. And it's not everyone's like that, but it could be, it could be a red flag. Hear me. Waited over a year. Dang, that's long. I'm sorry. Yeah, the CR1 and the K1 have both slowed down a lot. So it's like, it just sucks. But when you have a strong relationship, you have to have a strong relationship to get through that. If there is distance, like I don't know. That's a long, long process to like be apart for, especially if you can't visit frequently.
My advice now going through it all is don't make plans.
Yep.
Because you're going to be let down.
Yeah.
And don't talk about the process all the time, because you're gonna talk about, them being here, and it's like, oh, I'll do this when you come here, and when you're here, this, and I want you to work this and this and that. Like, you can't make those plans, because you're just gonna get to the point where you're kind of like desperate, and it makes you frustrated. So, and I've noticed that in my relationship too, I'll be honest, like sometimes we get upset because, we'll say like, yeah, we had this plan, and then I'll tell him like, oh, but when you come here, he's like, I don't know when I'm going, so like I have to figure my stuff out here. Like, exactly. It gets really frustrating, and it's a big issue in the relationship. So it gets to the point where I just don't even talk about it anymore. Like, when it happens, and we'll talk about it then.
Yeah, you need to have a strong foundation, a strong relationship to get through the visa process for sure. And if there are any doubts that come up through the process, I think a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, I already filed, I have to go through with it. If that person cheats on you, if they think they're cheating on you, if they become abusive, anything, like, you can cancel that application at any time. But to get through it, you do need to have a strong relationship. Hi from New York City. Hello, Alpha.
You just won't get a refund.
Yeah. Which sucks. I'm from New York as well. Oh, nice.
I live in Jersey, but I work in NYC. So
yeah, with the long ass commute. If you are in NYC, can you go eat at El Malecón? The chicken restaurant, so bomb, and I really miss it. Just in
Washington Heights.
Yeah, it's so bomb. We used to go there all the time. Also,
I've been there.
It's so good. Literally called lava. I love it. I agree. I feel like I'm letting family friends down when I tell them our plans. Okay, no, you're not. But it does suck if, like, for example, imagine trying to plan a wedding, and like, this was our problem. How can we plan a wedding? We want our family to. We have from the company, but we don't know when he's even going to be here. So planning a wedding was like impossible. I don't know. It's really hard. So try not to let any like friends and family like expectations get on you during this time because you don't have answers, you know? So you can't like promise things that aren't in your control.
So I'm kind of like in that situation right now. Like I said, I was like planning a wedding and like having my invitation, and I had a date because I assumed like, yeah, 6.5 months, like 6.5 months from now,
Right.
he'll
Of
be here.
course. Mhm.
And it ended up not even being close to that. I mean, we were expecting approval in like June, July, and it's October, and we still
Here we
haven't
are.
even gotten word for it. So it's like my advice would be you can do the courthouse wedding and then
Yeah.
like do something later.
Later.
Just do you and him at the courthouse, which is this is actually my plan. Like we'll go to the courthouse,
Mhm.
and then like plan later to know, like, so you have something set
Yeah,
for
to have like
sure, have to
the
cancel
ceremony.
anything, have to go through that stress, especially.
Yeah. I'm coming to your wedding,
Exactly.
just so you know. How's the
Oh, you are, for
baby?
sure.
I am. Baby's good, kicking a lot. I guess I can show you let's see how how big I look right now. Ew.
I think,
Okay.
girl.
Can you see?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. 7 months, 31.5 weeks. So yeah, doing well. Tomorrow I'm getting a 3D ultrasound, which I'm so excited for because we'll be able to see the face, see some features. Hopefully it's like this. But we are not finding out the gender. So still don't know that. And I'm gonna have to tell the girl like a million times, like, do not show me below the legs because I don't want to see it, especially on 3D. I know. Meanwhile, Emerly and everyone else like, is us if it's a boy or a girl. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know. But no,
I think it's a girl. And I keep telling
you're like the
Mel,
only
like, just
one
tell
now
your
that
doctor.
thinks it's a girl.
I keep telling her, like, tell your doctor
No.
to call me so I'm not having anxiety attacks every day.
I feel like my doctor even is like, okay, can you just find out? Because he's like keeping a secret too. But we're almost there. I only
Can
have
you
like
just
8
give him my
weeks.
email? Like, I don't even have to call him. Can you just give him my email?
He would probably email you and be like, this is what it is. What do you know about Empanadas Monumental? Everything. I know they're in New York, all right. They're good. Yeah, I would love that. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Is your husband adjusting to the Americas? Yeah, so we've been here a year now, a little over a year. We got married in September last year. He got his work permit in April. He got a job in April. He actually got a job really quickly. He's still there working a lot. But we still don't have an interview date for his green card. In January, they said that the interview was ready to be scheduled, that, he was all set, and we still haven't gotten a date. Because of it. Not as serious as like Emily waiting, but at least it's like it does suck in the sense that his license expires in November because it's only good for a year. And then we have to figure out like if we can get it renewed, if we can't, because we don't have his green card yet. But
shoot, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, he just lands. What if I go into labor and I can't drive and you can't drive? But he's adjusting really well. If you guys have watched my other videos, this is pretty, I feel like, Americanized before he came. He luckily had his visa. He's been to trips to the States before. He spoke English since he's little. So I think the adjustment was easier for him, but obviously artists like just away from his family for sure and friends because he used to hang out with his friends all the time. So yeah. I live in the States and plan on meeting up with a Dominicana girl next year when I have vacation time. And for now, I'm paying for her needs to like go over there and meet her. She has a 4-year-old. Jamie. So you haven't met her yet? Okay.
That honestly, to me, would be a red flag. And no offense at all.
Yeah, no offense, like at all.
But you paying for her needs, I think that's a lot, or like that's a lot on you. And that
Yeah, that's
automatically like gives you like an extra responsibility, because the day that you can't provide for her, who will?
yeah, like, will she, like, my question, Jamie, would be like, if you stop providing for those needs, is she still there to talk to you? Are you still, she's still down for, who is knocking at my door? Is she still down for, I'm going to be so annoyed if this is Chris. Emerly, you can answer this question. Can you answer it?
Jamie's question?
Yeah.
Sure. So, I think you have to think about who was providing for her before you, and how was she getting what she needed before you, and like where did things change after you came into the picture, and now like I said, it's a responsibility on you. So like the day that you can't, or the day that you have
Chris,
something, or like
but
whatever, who will be there to provide for her and her child?
yeah, sorry guys. Chris literally had his key and still made me come open the door. You come in. But yeah, I heard what you were saying, and I agree. Like, if you stop providing for those needs, is she still there for you? Also, the fact that she, like, and you might have said this, so I'm sorry, if the fact that she's asking you to provide for those needs is like, who paid for them before? Because like, her kid's been alive for 4 years, right? So who was paying for, and who will pay if you don't? And will she still like be there for you?
Especially since this is someone you haven't met. Like
Right,
that
right.
alone, that's a lot.
I feel like that's a probably potentially a red flag. And I don't want you to get played at all. And of course, we don't know. Maybe you're just a really nice person offering to pay for these needs, and she's not asking. Maybe she's not asking for money, and you feel like some obligation to provide that for her without her asking. But it is a little bit of a red flag, because would you do it for someone in the States that you don't know? And she asks, she's like, I don't have that money for my 4-year-old, but you haven't met yet. If it's not a red flag for you, then I don't know.
Or also, like, if she has a 4-year-old, where is this child's father? Why is this
Right.
child's father not providing for the child, or like, making sure they're okay? Um, I would also consider, you're contributing that much to her, but was she really contributing to you?
Yeah.
And not so much economically, but like emotionally, and like what her real goals are, what her like actual intentions are, because you can tell, like, is this a person you talk to every day, FaceTime, and like all that stuff, like someone who's actually like genuinely interested in you as well.
Right. Yeah. Or do you have that connection? Like, that's good. Is she like, not everyone has money, right? We can't expect everyone to have money and be able to pay for things, but who was doing it before? And what is she giving to you in return? Like, do you have a deep connection? Do you speak the same language? Do you video chat? Do you talk every day? Is she providing like some need for you besides like attention? You know what I mean? So yeah. She's not asking to provide for the needs. We clicked, and she had shown me where she was staying at. Okay. So it does sound like you like kind of feel like, well, I have the means to provide for her needs. And again, it's like, what is like $200 to us, right? Like, I want to send her some money. That's cool. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty like giving person. See someone need help and help them, right? But you do have to make sure that you are protecting yourself too, because a lot of times, like, people do go hungry in DR and stuff like that, but families provide much more for their loved ones than Americans do, in my opinion. You don't see a lot of homeless people there. They feed each other. Like, if you eat food, your neighbor will give it to you, So that's my opinion. And where did you meet her? You know, like that could be another, like how did you meet, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Where did you
Yeah.
find this person?
Let me
Trying to
see.
look at the comments.
Chris. FaceTime or unexpected. She's always talking about how much money she needs and all of that. Yeah, the other thing is some Dominicans won't straight up say, send me money. They'll just make you feel bad until you want to send them money because they're like, oh,
exactly.
My daughter needs, you're fine. My daughter needs money for school. She needs a uniform. She needs books. She needs this. She needs that. And then, of course, on a human level, you're like, okay, I'm not going to, you have a child, right? Like, I want to help you. So that's hard. And that's kind of playing on people's things. I have 20K views on YouTube. How do I cash out? It's not based on your views. It's, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours of watch time. Then you'll be up for monetization if you get approved and start ads and stuff. But unfortunately, the views are, it's hard to make money even when you're monetized. That's why someone should send me a super chat, but it's all right. I love you guys anyway. You never met the girl, but you're sending her money. You need to leave her alone. Yeah. You video chat every day. That's good. I tell her the money I send her is enough to pay for all of her needs. How much, like, are you sending her a lot of money? You don't have to tell us how much, but I could totally see, like, here's $20. Even really like when money gets involved, if it's not necessary. But it's like, if you're paying for all of her needs, like, what is her motivation to even, like, work, right?
No, because honestly, in the DR, the average person makes about, I want to say, or, you know, with a good job, maybe $600 to $800 a month.
What? Mm-mm.
So, yeah, you're right. That's way less.
Let me tell you
maybe
guys.
200.
Chris is an engineer, and he made $400 a month after going to college for 6 years. I'm pretty sure the salary would be like $200 to $400 a month.
20,000 pesos.
I don't know a lot of people making 600.
Well,
so Jamie,
okay,
$800 a month.
Survive with $400 a month. That's a lot.
$800. If you're sending $800 a month,
office here. Yeah, I was making that in 2 months working here
in the States.
In my old job. So that is a lot. Sorry, that is a lot.
800 a month. She has no motivation to work ever again in her life. Let me just tell you that. I was a teacher, like college degree, coming from the States, whatever, at a private school, and I made under $400 a month. 800, if you're sending that on a monthly basis, that's way too much. And no one's lifestyle is $800 a month there if they need you to send them money. Do you know what I mean? Like, that covers way above and beyond food, school, clothes, something like that. Can I ask, like, where you guys met, if you're comfortable sharing? Because that could help too. I don't know.
Someone just commented, that's 50 G's, my guy.
No, actually, that's a lot. I mean, dang, I wish I had someone to send. If you have $800, can you send me? I'm just kidding, kind of. No, but like, you can't send a super chat from DR. Is that true?
What is a super chat?
Is that true? The super chat's I'm happy. No, it's just like, I don't know. People usually donate during the lives or something if they want, but I didn't know that you could. I didn't know you couldn't in DR. That's annoying. The average, the 200, 400 is like a good salary even, which is hard. Yeah, 46,000 pesos. I made 20,000 pesos as a teacher. And that's not a lot. I mean, if I did that in the States, it's like, dang, you don't make any freaking money. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, I'm getting confused with 20,000. Yeah, wow. 20,000 pesos.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
50,000.
pointless.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
a
to
lot.
be smart and know the person you're dating in the Dominican. If she's a gold digger, trust me, the Pueblo will know. Ask around. Honestly, it's true. People will know, but they might not tell you the truth. So that's the part that sucks, is like, even if you're trying to do your research properly and know who's who and ask around, then that's good for you for like being cautious. But a lot of times, like, they'll lie for that person, but sometimes they won't. Sometimes there'll be someone who'll be like, no, she has like 3 other guys she's talking to, or no, he does this with every girl who comes on vacation here. So it could be worth asking someone.
I feel like it's hard to just ask someone, like, if you're not comfortable with them. Whereas, like, if you have this person on social media, or if you have this person on WhatsApp and, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Snapchat even, you can see what this person is about. You can see what they have. You can
Mhm.
see, like, what they're doing, and you'll know. You'll definitely know.
Right. Definitely. Dominican, yeah. The difference from talking to someone overseas and the States is that here in the States, I can go meet her on the weekend. Over there, I can't. No, for sure. Like, I'm not judging that you haven't been there on a trip yet and met her, because first of all, Corona, right? So no one is really traveling easily. Second of all, that's not expensive to buy a plane. I mean, well, you could use the money you're sending her for the plane. It's expensive to do that. Taking time off work is not easy. So I don't judge people who are like, oh, I can't afford to go, or time or work. You can't go. That's fine. But I just don't. I'm thinking situation. I would be sending someone 800 if like I've never met them, and it's hard because like you could feel like you have a genuine connection with this person. Well, I don't know. I've never met Emerly in person, and I would send her 800 if she needed it. But like,
I would do the same for you. Honestly, no, but
I don't
my
know.
fiance, for example, if he needed money to eat and survive on a monthly basis, like to get gas, to get food, and to like go grocery shopping, okay, maybe I'd send at most 300 a month, because I know like
Yeah,
he's not spending $300 at the grocery store, and he will not
no,
spend
that's
a
a lot.
hundred dollars on gas for his motorcycle. So it's like, I know he's not going to spend that much to survive. Rent over there costs you like maybe $300 a month, maybe less,
Yeah,
in a good house at least.
and a lot of people
Um,
live at home,
so
so
yeah, and a lot of people like live with their parents, or they live like on the bottom part of like the parents' house or whatever. Like they own the house, so they don't even pay that. So it's like you're
yeah,
not spending that much money.
no. Already did say that he video chats with her, so we can say they video.
He's not getting
Do you think
catfished.
Dominicans can be faithful in a long distance relationship? I just see so much there, and how people aren't really faithful, and how it's so accepted normal there. Yeah, that's really hard because, like, honestly, like in their distance, but they've built up that relationship. They know each other. They have the trust, and like she knows her fiance as a person and whether he would cheat or not, right? So that like is good. Like she's not sitting at home like, is he cheating on me? Because she knows him, right?
Yes,
Um,
exactly. So for me personally, he told me straight up, this was a person who loved to go out on the weekends, like literally get out of work on Friday, be at a club Friday night, get home at 7 a.m. on Saturday, and like go to the club Sunday and go from the club to work. Like this was my
right.
fiance. I'm not like ashamed of telling everybody about this. Like the dude was freaking ridiculous. Was partying every weekend, spending all the money he made at clubs and with his friends and whatever. That's what he liked to do. But I can honestly say he hasn't done that since we've started the relationship.
Right.
And he told me straight up, he was like, listen, I don't want to do that anymore because I know that the day that I go out and someone sees me at home past 1 a.m. or whatever, and everybody knows you're around here, they're going to tell
Yeah.
you Isaias got home at 1 a.m. and
Snitches.
I'm not looking,
Yeah.
exactly, I'm not looking for issues with you. So I'd rather just not go out. And I tell him, like, I don't care if you go out. I don't care if you want to go hang with your friends. I don't care about, like, not that I don't care what you're going to do, but just like be careful about what you're going to do. And in the year like that we've officially been dating, he's only gone out once. And it was the Christmas
Wow.
party his company had. And he was constantly sending me pictures and like video chatting me and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to do this to prove to me that like you're not doing anything.
Yeah, like he's established that he's like, bye Jamie, good luck. Let us know if you have any questions. He's established that he's faithful. I will say, do I think that there could be more unfaithfulness in DR? Possibly, depending on the person, depending on their background, how they were raised. Dominicans are super flirty with one another, I think. Can be touchy and stuff, but it's also a stereotype because like Chris, I know he would never cheat on me because he thinks it's like the ultimate sin. Like he would never. I don't have to worry about that, and I never worry about that. And I can, from the beginning of a relationship, I can see how he interacts with people, and I can see like he's not touchy with other girls. He's not flirty at all. Like I'm flirtier than he is. It's just, you just know at a certain point. I know, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a Libra. No, like he's just not like that. He's just not that type, and I don't worry about that. But other people, I think, see how their significant other interacts with people, and then they get more, like, they're more scared, and they should be, honestly, because like you have a reason why you're thinking that, right? But you have to have that trust, I think, from the beginning, because if you do, then, you know, then it's not an issue. I know he wouldn't, and he knows what happens if he does. If he ever did, we would be done. Like I would divorce him. So there's been,
I would
like,
condone, like,
never been anything like remotely sketchy. So it's like, no, you just have to, you'll have to pay to get the right information, but in the long run, yeah, I hope that's not what's happening to this guy. Dominican guys are so good that they make you feel like number one, and only when you're not. So it's hard to tell if they're playing you. Dominicans, we said, are the smoothest ever. They're like, I have a meeting in 1 minute. They're so like smooth. They're so,
they have game.
They have so much game. I'm like, even when they're shy, even when they're like not forward, like Chris is really shy and he's still, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could never talk to a freaking American again.
My fiance was like the most shy person ever. Like he would see me and blush and like barely want to give me a hug or like whatever. So
yeah,
still find a way to like talk to me and
oh my gosh,
like
he's so
make me
romantic.
feel, super special.
He does, yeah. I know he does.
Stuff.
He's cute. That's funny. Yeah, Chris, like, he's so shy, and he's still like, even when he kissed me, the way whatever, but like the way he did the way he talks and like his moves and like the things he says and like, I don't even know. I'm like, damn, Dominicans are raised different. I don't know if it's something in the water, but like girls, guys, they're so like smooth. And I'm like, how can you go back to an American after that who's like, what's good? I'm like, no, tell me I'm beautiful. they're not like scared to be like touchy either. Like my ex was like so against PDA, and it's not like I need to be like crazy because I'm not like that either. But he doesn't even like hold hands. Meanwhile, Chris is like so like he just shows you he loves you, and I think all Dominicans are like that, and I think that's really cute. Okay, now let me stop obsessing about Chris. Ew. Yeah, they're flirty. Yeah, with everyone. Yeah, very loving, very affectionate. The smell good doesn't help. Yeah, I mean they're so clean. The bar is low, but they definitely take care of themselves for sure. For sure.
Yes, I love the way that Dominicans dress. Guys in general, like
some of
with
them,
the little jazz, and they're always very well dressed. Always have the fresh cut. Like,
oh yeah.
If there's anything they have money for, it's for the haircut weekly or at least bi-weekly, and like the little fresh look anywhere. It's amazing. I love it.
I know we're both obsessed. It's fine. He was raised right. Chris was right. Like 100%. And thanks. He does, but how could you not? I'm just kidding. Ew. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Chris. I feel like it's annoying. But yeah, you can just tell how someone's raised and stuff, you know, like it doesn't matter at the end of the day if they're Dominican or American, like if you know, I don't know. The fresh haircut, they always look good for sure. For sure. It's funny. Hi, we're almost over. You missed us. You'll have to go back and watch everything we said about red flags if you agree. Are there any like last minute questions? I have to run to a meeting. Last minute super chats. Just kidding. Yeah, but if there's any last minute questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them for you.
Did you see?
Otherwise,
I am literally blushing.
Just the smiley face? I saw that.
No, look at his last comment.
I don't see it.
Tejada.
I just see a smiley face.
I'm so red.
What did he say? Can you just read it?
You need to go.
I know. Whatever.
What does
this mean?
He said Emerly Núñez Tejada was the thing. That's my fiance.
Yeah, that's him. He's so cute. I don't know. Someone's asking me how you do a super chat. That's what I was trying to figure out, but I don't even know. That's what I was looking at.
Does Chris really like Fernandito Villalona? They've asked that question twice.
I know, probably not. I don't know.
I do. If that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters, honestly. Are the men in Santiago different from the ones in Santiago? Yeah, a little bit. The men in freaking San Pedro.
I was gonna say no.
No, not really. The ones in San Pedro are so different than Santiago to me, like style-wise. Jarabacoa, so different. The men in Jarabacoa are extremely attractive.
I guess it depends, because that's like saying someone from New York is completely different from like someone in California, just because one is in New York and one's in California. You know what I mean?
It depends on the person, yeah.
They all have, you know, they live in places, so like someone who lives by the beach is gonna have a different lifestyle than someone who lives in mountains, and that different stuff. But like at the end of the day, they're Dominican, and I feel like every Dominican is pretty prideful of like their country. So I personally wouldn't think like they're different. It's just it's a different surrounding.
Like San Pedro, I noticed like they get their eyebrows waxed. The guys, they have the big gold chains. They wear those like tighter shirts, tighter jeans, gelled hair. Whereas like in Jarabacoa, they're more like natural looking without like their hair is always nice, but like without not the gel, not the eyebrows, not the chain. That's just like what I've noticed, but not how they act really. That's dependent on when they love you, they love you. Yeah. which is so cute. Like they love hard when they do, which is really nice that they
Yes.
are willing to show that emotion. I really like that they're not scared to do that.
You know that like love that you see in the movies where like the guy is just like always sending letters and like trying to get the girl's attention and just like
Mhm.
hardcore loves the girl. Like I think about it all the time and I feel like I'm that girl. Like I feel
Yeah,
like it almost doesn't feel real. Um, which I would love everyone to experience because it's really different when you think you love someone versus when you actually like are in love with someone.
yeah, yeah. That's the thing. At the end of the day, I feel like you'll know if you have these red flags and you're ignoring them deep down, or if are you taking a picture? Or if
I wasn't
you or if you have a legit relationship. So you just need to trust your intuition at a certain point, you know? Just like keep that, like just I don't know, trust yourself. So yeah, super chat. I have no idea how to do it, guys. Sorry. You can cash at me instead. I'm annoying. But no,
Cash
I
App
have to
Emerly Tejada.
Cash App. I don't even know my Cash App. What is it? Do you know it?
Send me $5 for Starbucks.
Cash App.
Like,
Yeah, I haven't
this is
even.
my
Oh,
app.
millsbeato.
Send money.
What? Oh my gosh, I don't really know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, send us both $5. I'm just kidding.
Me and Mose will share it. This will go for like
No.
our weekly lives. We'll do weekly lives if Cash App me.
Honestly, I would love that. Okay. So
We
I have to
should.
run to a meeting that started 7 minutes ago. We can do nothing else. I'm only at my house. Any other questions? Comment. You can, after the live is up, you can still comment. Emily or I will answer any like red flags, relationship questions, K1 visa questions. These comments will go away, but you can still comment on the video itself. Thank you so much for watching. Please let us know any other topics you'd like to be covered, because I love doing lives because I get to talk to you guys, and like I don't do them too much, but I really do like it when I do them. So thank you for watching, for your support. There's Fly. And
thank you for having me. Again.
That's funny. Yeah, thank you so much.
I feel like our
You're
lives are
great.
always just so much fun.
They are. To me, I hope that everyone watching had fun. But we'll definitely do another. Maybe I'll bring in some other people too. I think I know people that can definitely contribute to the conversation too, as they're texting as we're talking. So that'll be fun to do another like maybe controversial topic. So let us know what you're thinking. Thanks so much for watching. Love you all. Have a beautiful weekend. And I will see you guys soon.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.